Hello, welcome to Raining Acrylics. My name's Hannah and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. I decided that I wanted to do a split base Dutch pour where I've got two different shades of blue, a really dark navy and a much paler periwinkle blue. So I have already taken a paintbrush and painted the sides of my canvas and the corners and the edges. I do that with the paint before it's thinned, so that I've got a nice thick layer so that none of the white canvas pokes through after the pour and I don't have to worry as much about my corners and my sides being covered. Now currently flooding the canvas with a navy colour that I created. I didn't have the dark blue that I wanted, so I made this one. And I mixed together Jackson's Phthalo blue and thought that's not quite dark enough, so added a little bit of Liquitex Basics Mars Black. But as I was stirring this paint, I realised that the phthalo blue had far too much green in it for what I wanted. So I decided to mix in some of Jackson's Dioxazine Violet, and adding that purple toned down the green and gave me that navy colour that I wanted. Now the colour I'm flooding the canvas with now is Light Blue Violet by Liquitex Professionals, and this is a heavy body paint, so it takes a lot more thinning down. All of the colours that I've used, I will give details of my mixing down in the description bar. But all of my paints have been thinned with distilled water and Floetrol, which gives me the maximum amount of working time if I use Floetrol because it slows down the drying of the paint. I will also include in the description bar some affiliate links so that you can find some of the equipment that I used. Just to let you know that most of this video is going to be played in double time so that I can take my time without you guys watching getting incredibly bored. I do spend a really long time spreading my paints out on the surface of the canvas because it's one of my favourite things to do. There's just something so satisfying about spreading this liquid paint across the surface of the canvas, so I do take my time and thoroughly enjoy it. And because I've just used Floetrol and distilled water and my paints are really thin, I can actually do that. I can spend my time without them drying too quickly. Now I'm just using my blowtorch, running that across the surface of the paint to pop the air bubbles in my base. Now this first colour is Iridescent Gold by Pēbēo. This is another Pēbēo colour, Iridescent Green Blue. Now this white isn't actually a white acrylic paint, it's a water-based glitter. Now this liquid glitter, because it's water-based, will mix really well with all acrylic paints, but here I've mixed it with just the Floetrol, and so it should dry really quite transparent with my colours shining through underneath, and it'll give it a snow-like glitter. This is Roberson's Liquid Metals in Twinkle, and there'll be a link in the description bar. This is another Pēbēo colour now. This is their Iridescent Blue Black. This purple is Deco Art's Dazzling Metallics in Purple Pearl. This is another Deco Art. This is their Extreme Sheen Sapphire. Now to blowing out the colours with my hairdryer. I've gone back to normal speed now because I think it's really important to see how quickly you use the hairdryer, because it's actually slower than you might think to blow the paints out. You can really take your time over directing them. Plus, it's just lovely to watch the paints flowing across the surface of the canvas. I love watching it. Back to double time now, and just using my mouth to blow out the regions of the paints that I want. The eagle-eyed among you might have noticed a cat moving just in the corner of the frame on a few of my shots. And here she just runs across next to my feet across the screen. Her name is Callie. She's very affectionate. She loves cuddles, and she quite often comes and curls up on my drip sheet to keep me company while I pour my paints. Now I really need to tie up that wispy bit of hair hanging down because I'm about to epically dip it in my paint. Oh, look, there you go. Terrible. Finally, torching it to pop any last bubbles and bring up any new cells that want to come up and appear. Although there is quite a lot of cells in this one already. Got loads of cells. It's because I used that Floetrol. So here's the finished piece. It's a veritable explosion of colour, shine and sparkle. I absolutely love it. I would love for you to let me know what you think of it by putting a comment below. Also, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry that you've got this glare from my studio lights. If you see those white dots that are following the camera around, those are because of the studio lights. So here it is again in close-up with those studio lights turned off so that you've lost that glare. Now you don't really see how shiny and sparkly this is. The camera just doesn't really pick up that sheen. But hopefully once it's dry and resined, that shine and sparkle will really show. If you did like this video, please consider helping me out by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye for now.